Welcome to ADP Employee Training. My name is Courtney and I am the Rehab Clinical Program Specialist for Interface Rehab. Today I am going to show you how to submit time off requests, call out or sick days, and switch days. Before we begin, just a friendly reminder, if you need any step-by-step instructions for ADP tasks, you can always go to the Resources tab under Forms Library and click on the ADP eTime Reference Guide for Employees. So let's begin. We'll start at our home screen for ADP. In order to submit our time off requests, we will have to go to the Myself tab and go to our time cards, which is under Time and Attendance, and click Time. A pop-up window will appear with your time card. And on the right-hand side, there is a menu called the widget menu. We will click on My Calendar. And right here, up at the right-hand side of this screen, there's a button called Request Time Off. Another pop-up menu will appear, and this window is where we will be able to do all of our time off requests, call out or sick days, and switch days. The first thing that you will see to the right is an accrual table. We have some different types of accrual. We have PTO hours and sick hours. If you are a full or part-time employee, you will be accruing PTO hours. If you are a per diem employee, you will be accruing sick hours. Under Type, there is a drop-down menu. Open this menu up and you will see the different types of time off that we can request. We have different sections here, so all of our time off requests can be submitted as either a full day or a partial day. So the first kind that we have up here are time off requests. These are to be submitted at least 2 weeks in advance, but no more than 3 months in advance. The next section that we have are our full and partial day sick PTO time. This is used for our per diem employees in order to use this sick time whenever you want to submit a sick day. Next section, we have our full and partial day call outs. These are our sick days for our full and part-time employees. At the bottom, we have our full and partial day switch days. Switch days are to be submitted if you want to work on a non-scheduled day. So for example, let's say I want to have a Friday off and instead I want to work on Sunday. So I could submit a switch day to work on Sunday instead of Friday, so I don't have to use any of my PTO time to be off on Friday. Last section here is PTO cash out. There is another video focused solely on PTO cash out. At any time, you are able to cash out your PTO time and you're able to use it through this request time off window. So let's begin with our full and partial day time off requests. So you want to choose the type of time off. We'll do full day time off. Our start and end dates are the time that we want to start our time off and end our time off. Now it's to be submitted at least 2 weeks in advance. So let's say I am going to submit a time off request for the 28th. Let's say I'm going to take a couple days off this week, so I'll take off the 28th and the 29th. Right here, you'll see I'm taking off the 28th, the 29th, and then I'm doing a full day time off request. The notes section is optional for time off requests. Feel free to use it to put any notes that you want your director of rehab to know, or maybe yourself in order to keep track of these PTO or the request time off. Once I have all of the fields entered, I click Submit. It will go to my director of rehab for approval. If I don't want to take a full day off, I just want to take a partial day, I will enter partial day time off. Same thing, I'm choosing the start date that I want to start and the end date. Let's say I'm just going to take off 4 hours on Tuesday the 28th. I have to enter a start time. This does not mean that you have to start at 9 a.m. in the morning. This is just a field for the computer to generate how many hours you'll be working that day. The duration is the really important part. Let's say I'm only taking 4 hours off. I'm doing a half day on the 28th, so I will enter 4 hours. That means that I'm taking 4 hours off on Tuesday, the 28th. Note section is optional. Feel free to use if you would like. Once I have all of my fields entered, I click submit, and it goes to my director of rehab. If I am a per diem employee and I need to call in sick, I will have to submit a full day or partial day sick PTO in order to use my sick days or my sick hours. So just like the full and partial day time off requests, screens look similar. I submit the start and end date that I'm submitting for my sick day, and then I click submit down here at the bottom. If I am only doing a couple hours of sick time, let's say I was only scheduled to work 3 hours as a per diem employee, and so I'm calling off for those 3 hours. I would do partial day sick PTO, choose the start and end date, and then however many hours I wish to take out of my sick time. Click submit. If you are a full or part-time employee of Interface Rehab and you need to submit a sick day, our sick time is included in our PTO time as a full and part-time employee. So instead of choosing sick PTO, we need to choose call out. So just like before, our full day call outs, we submit the start and end date. For partial day call out, we still submit the start and end date, but then we need to specify how many hours we had to take off work. And then finally, our switch days. Our switch days are, I guess, a little bit trickier than our sick time off and call outs. Whenever we are entering a switch day, there's a couple things that we need to keep in mind. The first thing is whatever day we want to switch and work still needs to be within that work week. So let's say I want to take off the 24th of next week. Okay. Instead of working on Friday, I want to work on Sunday. I need to make sure that the day that I'm working is still within the work week of that scheduled day. So our work weeks run from Sunday to Saturday. So instead of working the 24th, I would be able to work either the 19th or the 25th. I would not be able to work the 26th instead of the 24th because it is not within that work week. Whenever we are entering our request for a switch day, we need to make sure that the start and end date that we are choosing is the day that we are scheduled to work. So if I want to be off on Friday and work on Sunday, the 19th, my full day switch day request starts and ends on the 24th because that's the day I am supposed to be working. This is the only section where you do have to use the note section. It is not optional because this is where you will specify the day that you will work. We'll work Sunday 5/19 instead of Friday 5/24. Click submit and it will go to my director of rehab. Let's say I don't want to do a full switch day and I just want to do a partial switch day. We'll still use Friday as an example. So let's say I have a doctor's appointment on Friday, so I need to leave early, but I don't want to use my PTO time. So instead, I will come in on Saturday to work the hours that I need to make up. Just like before for our full day, the start and end date will be the date that we are scheduled to work. Let's say I need to take off 4 hours on Friday, so I'll put the duration for however many hours I want to switch over to Saturday. And then here, I will specify will work Saturday 5/25 instead of Friday 5/24, and then click submit. In order to keep track of your time off requests, you are going to use this calendar widget that we request them off in the first place. I actually have a couple requests that are already in and approved, so I can show you how to manage those time off requests. So just like our time card, we can choose what days we want to look at for our calendar. So we can either select our own look back period or use the drop down menu to select a prefabricated look back period. So here you can see on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I already have some switch days and full day time off requests submitted and approved by my supervisor. If I do want to edit that time off request, I can always go to that day and click on this arrow and either cancel or pull up the details of my time off requests. So let's take a look at the switch day that I submitted. Here you'll see instead of working Thursday and Friday, I am going to work the days that I'm not scheduled to work, right? So start date and end dates are the days that I'm supposed to work. And then down here in the description, I'm typically off Mondays and Tuesdays. So I put a full day switch day for Thursday to Friday. We'll work Monday and Tuesdays, which are typically the days that I have off. So that way my direct supervisor knew the days I was going to work instead. Now, if you have any questions regarding time off requests, call outs, sick days, or switch days, feel free to reach out to your director of rehab or your regional mentor. Thank you and have a good day.